Hello, beloveds. This is the longer version of the Examen. The Examen is a prayer from the Jesuit tradition that we're encouraged to pray every day. I always begin with a few deep breaths and use my imagination to put myself in the presence of God. My favorite mind picture is the burning bush that Moses saw. I picture myself like Moses, noticing the burning bush at the side of the path and going over to check it out. I see this bush burning, and I walk over and see a bush in flames, but it's not getting smaller or burnt up. I use all my senses to put myself in that picture. I hear the crackling fire and God's voice telling me to take off my shoes because I'm on holy ground. I see the orange and yellow flames and the black branches that burn but don't break off. I smell the smoke. I taste the dusty, smoky air. I feel the dirt under my feet and the warmth of the fire. I stand there for a little while and breathe. You might use a different image from Bible stories, like when Moses asked to see God when he was on Mount Carmel. And God put him in the cleft of a rock, and then God put his own hand in front of Moses and walked in front of him, because seeing God completely would be too much for Moses to handle. Or you might think of one of the times with Jesus, like when he was sleeping in the boat during the storm. Or maybe when the woman touched the hem of his coat as he was walking and was healed. Use all of your senses too, and be there for a little while and breathe. Then start the Examen with gratitude. Think of what you're thankful for, whether it's big or small. And try to come up with at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Then the Examen asks you to look back over your day. It might be yesterday, if you're praying in the morning, or it might be today, if you're praying at the end of the day, or if it's been longer than a day since you last prayed, it might be during that span of time. Whatever God brings up to your mind. And when you look back, you're looking for God. Where was God in everything? Where was he in the conversations you had? Where was he while different things were happening or you were doing different things? When you were having a conversation, were you showing God's love through what you said and did? Was God pleased and happy as he watched what you were doing? What do you think God was thinking while you were doing whatever it was you were doing? It might help to go through your day kind of in order, like what happened when I first woke up? How was I feeling? What was I thinking? And then what happened at breakfast? What happened between breakfast? What happened when I went to work or to school? What happened when I was walking there, or when I was talking to my coworkers or my friends or my teacher. Whatever it is, sometimes it helps to kind of go through it chronologically, but it doesn't have to be in order. Something might occur to you, and that's God bringing it up to your mind. And you can think about those things and ask yourself, where was God when that was happening? And while you're thinking about what was happening and where was God, think about how you felt during those times. Were you feeling close to God? Were you feeling like you were showing His love because you were close to Him? That's called consolation. So were you feeling consoled? Or were you feeling some distance? Were you feeling like you weren't showing God's love? Or maybe you didn't even notice God in what was happening. Or you don't when you look back. So go through your day, review what happened. Think about where God was, how He was showing Himself through you or through someone else, what was going on, and then think about if you felt consoled because you were close to God, or if you felt desolate because He felt distant from you. Next, think about mending. Are there places where you need to make amends? Maybe things that you need to say you're sorry for that you did or said? Or are there other places where you see brokenness, maybe broken relationships or whatever it might be? And are there ways that you can show God's love through helping to mend those broken things by saying you're sorry, maybe, or by doing something to try to make up for what happened, or just by showing God's love to someone because you know that they're experiencing sadness or brokenness? So think about mending. And then want to look to the future, to tomorrow or the next day or whatever's happening in the future. Ask God to help you with setting some intentions or next steps for facing what's happening in the future. Maybe it's preparing yourself in your attitude, or maybe it's some concrete steps that you want to take, and ask God for showing you what those are and helping you with doing those things in the future. And then finally, end again the examen with gratitude, with a note of gratitude. Whether it's big or small, just thank God for whatever comes to your mind from him that you can be thankful for. It could be something small like a bird you heard singing, or the grass you see growing, or a little bit of kindness that came in your life, whatever it is, or something big like God's faithfulness and the way he keeps his promises. Whatever it is, just think about something, can be really small and quick, and end the examen with a note of gratitude. And finally, I like to end with saying the Lord's Prayer. It's kind of an ending and a beginning to your day. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.